الرحمن الرحيم إن الحسنات يذهبن السيئات صلوات. So we are continuing our discussion on Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq and on the sentence that we discussed last week was about when Imam says, "Oh Allah, give me the ability and tawfiq an ashkur al-hasanah wa أغضي عن السيئة." Let me, oh Allah, be appreciative and thankful and grateful. Let me appreciate whatever is good, and let me ignore whatever is unacceptable for me. One more salawat. An أغضي عن السيئة. Let me ignore the mistakes. This is very important thing in our life. If we are able to ignore the mistakes of people, we can be the happiest people on earth. Many problems start with when you be very sensitive about mistakes of other people and other people's dealing with you. You should remain happy, be happy in whatever situation. If somebody has done anything that you don't like, one thing that you don't like is called sayyi'ah. That's why Imam has used the word sayyi'ah. And Quran has also used this. Sayyi'ah is opposite of hasana. We always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. Oh Allah, give us hasana, it's good, something that when we see it and we get happy. So something that makes you happy is hasana. Or make Allah happy is hasana. And something that makes Allah unhappy or makes us ourselves unhappy is sayyi'ah. So see the word sayyi'ah. And hasana means something that when you receive it, you get happy. Ashkur al-hasana wa أغضي عن السيئة. So there are always two things in our dealing with people and our interaction with others. Two things. Either we like somebody's behavior or we don't like. We are happy with it or we are unhappy. So these two things always are there while dealing with people, while living with friends or family or community or a society. Unless you live alone. And this never happens for a human being. Human being is always, with somebody. So because human is a social animal. So social part of our and social aspect of our life is something that makes us human being. Without that, we cannot live. So you have some relationship, starting with your parents, with your siblings, then you grow up, now you get married, your wife, your children, your family members, extended family, and of course community and society. So this is very important to learn the art of dealing with people. It is an art, really. It's how to be good with others and how to remain happy with other people no matter what they do with you. Of course, there are levels of the dealings for both goodness and evil. Both have levels. So that's why Quran has used many different vocabulary words for bad, for evil, for something that we don't like or Allah does not like. For example, he used sayyi'ah. Sayyi'ah is something that you don't like and simple and easy to bear it. Then khati'ah means mistakes. Then the word dhanb means sin. Sin is something big you do. a huge thing. And dhulm is, of course, worst thing. Dhulm means to be unjust with other people and doing dhulm. And sometimes you do dhulm on yourself. You do dhulm while you're dealing with huququllah, Allah's rights on you. And of course, there are two types of rights: Allah's rights, people's rights. So see, to remain on the point, otherwise we can go into details of all these words and the differences, because the scholars agree that in Quran there are no synonyms. Quran does not use synonyms. We do. I want to say something, I used a word, then I replace it with another word, then I sometimes other time when I say the same thing, I use another word, but I mean the same thing with all those various words. Allah does not do that. When Allah uses a word, then in another place uses another word, it means there is a difference, there is something there that Allah selected that particular word for it. So, sayyi'ah, khati'ah, dhanb, like when we read the dua, there is a dua in Quran we read, and it is very famous dua. رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Surah Baqarah, ayat number 286. Last ayat of Quran. It says, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا. Oh Allah, don't hold us accountable in nasina, if you forget. So this is, see, nisyan. You do something not purposely, not even a mistake, rather you forgot. You forgot it, totally forgot. And this is the slightest thing you can do in terms of things that people don't like, yeah, Allah don't like, or we don't like. Something which is disliked, the slightest thing starts with doing it out of forgetfulness. You forgot to do something. That's why that if you do something and you forget, actually you were not aware of it, and you forgot, you knew it but you forgot, Allah will not punish you for that at all. Allah will immediately forgive you if you rectify it immediately. Allah will forgive you immediately. Just like, see, give you example of fasting. While you are fasting, okay, you should not eat, you should not drink, correct? But you forgot that you are fasting. When you ate, and you took your food, your lunch, or whatever, and then you realize, oh my God, I was fasting. How can I eat? Astaghfirullah. And immediately you stopped. Your fasting is okay. It's fine. Why? Because you did it not purposely. It happened. You forgot it. So, in such a situation, why your fasting is okay and fine? Because nisyan. You forgot. So this happens many times while we deal with each other. Why we should make it a big deal? Think about it. Really think alone sometime about that. Don't you think that some people might have done it, just unpurposely? Yes. Something happened, a mistake happened, or they forgot it. They forgot what you said, and you came back, you said, okay, I told you, my son, you do this. And he forgot it. And you came back and you are angry on him. Or your wife, or wife on the husband. Right? Wife said, okay, when you go out, bring this with you. Okay, you have to buy this list of things. And you came back and you forgot one of them. What will happen? How can you forget? How do you forget? Why you? It's fine, it's forget it. It's okay. Right? He didn't do it purposely. He brought other things in the list and he forgot one. So it's not a big deal. Right? Why should we start fighting on it? So when Allah is giving us practical we practice it by ourselves. If you do mistake in your salat, right? In your salat, you did a mistake. And you forgot, for example, that whether this is, 3 rakat and 4 rakat. Did you do a sin? Is it a sin? No. Yes, you should not forget. You should pay attention. That is true. Your thawab will decrease. But it is not a sin. Not a sin. Allah is not going to punish you for that. Rather, there are laws and ways how to fix it, how to rectify your mistake right there. Yes. But it doesn't mean that you think that Allah is going to punish me for that. No, Allah is not going to punish you for that. Why? Because you did a mistake. For mistakes, there is no immediate punishment, as long as you fix it immediately. So when we expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that when Allah is dealing with us, He is forgiving, He is ignoring our many mistakes. So why should we make it a big deal? Why we should take it serious? So remember, and you can sit sometime alone, take a pen and paper and write down the points of disagreement that you have with somebody, or your relationship is not good with someone. Write the reasons. Write down the reasons. You will find, I would say maybe 70-80% of the reasons are the things that you could ignore them right away at that time. وَأَغْضِي عَنِ السَّيِّئَةِ. Sayyi'ah is more than something that's you do it. Sayyi'ah means you do it, maybe purposely. But still, it's not something that you should take it very serious. You did it purposely. I gave the example of something that you asked someone to bring something for you. He didn't bring it purposely. He said, no, I didn't have time, or I was busy. No, I don't want to do it. Still, it is fine. So in first example, he forgot to bring it. He didn't do it. Why? Because he forgot. This is something that you should not even talk about it, because he forgot. Astaghfirullah. If you talk, you will be a sinner. If you get angry on him, you will be a sinner. Then Allah will be angry on all your things that you forget every day. Maybe hundreds of things you forget to do what Allah asks you to do. Right? But if you expect that Allah will ignore all your mistakes, not those things that you forget. No, mistakes. Mistakes means, yes, you could avoid it, but you did it. This is mistake. And sayyi'ah more than mistake. See, there are steps. Sayyi'ah is more than khata. Khata means mistake. Mistake. I didn't mean it. Unvoluntarily, it happened something. Right? Without a purpose, without, doing it knowingly. No, it happened. Mistake. But the third stage is what? Sayyi'ah. Sayyi'ah now, you did it. You did it, yes, purposely you did it, but it is not a dhanb, is not a sin. It is not a dhulm. It is sayyi'ah. See, in Quran says, بَلَا مَنْ كَسَبَ وَإِن تَجْتَنِبُوا كَبَائِرَ مَا تُنْهَوْنَ عَنْهُ نُكَفِّرْ عَنْكُمْ سَيِّئَاتِكُمْ. If you refrain from major sins that Allah forbid you from doing, كَبَائِرْ مَا تُنْهَوْنَ عَنْهُ نُكَفِّرْ, then Allah will forgive your sayyi'at. Sayyi'at is the plural of sayyi'ah. Allah will forgive your sayyi'at. He'll forgive it. Even if you don't ask for forgiveness. See, Allahu Akbar. It's so amazing. So there are kaba'ir, means major sins, and there are minor sins. We have talked about it earlier, and let me explain it one more time. That kabair and saghair means major sins, minor sins. So there are major sins and minor sins. We have the list of major sins. If you want to go and find out which sins are major sins, you will find the list. In some ahadith, there are 7, there are 10, there are 20, 40, and in some ahadith, there are 70 sins. They are major sins. Okay, now go and try to find out the list of minor sins. You will never find a list of minor sins. Why? Because yes, there are minor sins, there are saghair, which is not kabira, means it is not a major sin. It is a sin not major. So why don't you have a list for that? Or at least mention some examples. You cannot even give an example. I cannot tell you, if you ask me, give me an example of minor sin. I will say, see, minor sins are there, of course. But if I say this sin is minor sin, as soon as I consider it minor, it becomes major. Why? Because among the list of major sins, there is a sin, it's called takhfif al-dhanb. Takhfif al-dhanb. To take easy of any sin. Considering any sin as, yeah, it is fine. I didn't thought, get up in the morning is for Salatul Fajr, is okay. I did it qada. I see the okay. As soon as you say it is okay, it became major sin. It became gunah kabira. I just went there, it was, yeah, music and mixed gathering is fine. Other people always saying, it is okay. As soon as you took it easy and it is okay, it became major sin. So that's why there is no list of minor sins, because you starting writing a list or making a list with the intention of considering them minor. So originally you are making another list of major sins. Keep this in mind. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't have minor sin. But there are. Allah says, if you refrain from kabair, from major sins that you know that they are major. You know the list of major that Quran and Ahadith have presented to you. نُكَفِّرْ عَنْكُمْ سَيِّئَاتُمْ. Then whatever mistake happens from you, sayyi'at, Allah will forgive those sayyi'at automatically. And many times you don't even need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness for them. نُكَفِّرْ عَنْكُمْ. Condition is what? If you know this is gunah kabira, if you know this is a major sin, just keep away from it. Once you keep away from that, because Allah said don't do it, and you are not doing it, that's it. Then Allah will forgive your sayyi'at. So what would Allah use here? Sayyi'at. It means sayyi'at are kind of mistakes that they are mistake, but you could avoid it. You did it, there is a reason, and you are reason for that mistake. Right? You are driving and suddenly the car stopped. What happened? Oh my God, there is no gas in it. I'm out of gas. And you have to reach to a meeting, to an interview. Now you say, oh my God, I forgot to do this. It was a mistake by me. But this was a mistake that you could avoid. You are reason for it. You should have planned, earlier. You should know that you are going to travel tomorrow, or you have some important interview tomorrow. So you cannot say, sorry, sir, actually, I was out of gas and my car suddenly stopped. I could not come. This is not an excuse from you. Why? Although it is a mistake, but will not be accepted. Why? Because there are many mistakes that you are responsible for that. Overall, after all this that we discussed, let's go back to what Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to improve our behavior, our akhlaq, while dealing with people. And it is the key, believe me, in our relationship. Key. Two things he asked together. And ashkur al-hasana. Oh Allah, make me able to appreciate the good. Any good thing I see, any favor I receive from someone, let me appreciate it. Appreciate the good. وَأَغْضِي عَنِ السَّيِّئَةِ. And whatever I don't like and I see from somebody, sayyi'ah, a mistake somebody is doing against me, let me ignore it. Ughdi means ignore it. Ughdi means to, turn my head away from something, just ignoring it. Let me ignore. Let me appreciate. So these two things, keep them in your life, and believe me, you will be happy. You will remain happy. There's a hadith, a beautiful hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salatu salam. Our Mawla, Allahu Akbar, amazing hadith and sayings of our Mawla. He says that if you don't know how to ignore the mistakes of your friend, if you don't know how to ignore the mistakes of your friends, you will remain without friend. You will remain without friend. Allahu Akbar. You will have no friend then left. Why? Because every friend is going to do a mistake. Something he's going to do that you might don't like it one day. If you start picking up, right, his mistakes every time and don't know how to ignore it, you will remain without friend. All your relationship will be ruined if you don't know ignoring. It's not about forgiving yet. It is just ignoring. See, everything has a difference. I'm not talking about forgiving and forgetting. No, I'm talking about ignoring. Just ignore it. It's fine. Happen is okay. Take it easy. Take easy. Don't be serious. Don't make it a big deal. Why did this? Why did this? And just started argument and then the reply, and then again from the other side and this side, and then it reaches to the peak, and you know what happens. It starts with not ignoring. So two things. In our relationship, this is the conclusion of today's discussion. So what Imam is teaching us in dua, makarimul akhlaq, this akhlaq. And try it, you try it and you will see the results, immediate results, how great peace of mind you will get. Peace of mind. Believe me, you will be so happy. In many cases, I have the experience myself. When I ignore things, my friends say, how you look so calm, as nothing happened. I said, what happened? Why should I think that something happened? It is okay. It is fine. Let's be happy. Ignore. And when you expect that Allah should not take on you your mistakes, why should you do with His servants while you dealing with them? Appreciate. Try this at home. No matter what kind of relationship you have, try it. With your brother, with your sister, with your wife, with your husband, with your parents, friend. Anything that they do good, anything good, just say thank you. Say, mashallah, wow, this is very good. Thank you, I liked it. Just say this. So no, you know what? They do 90 mistakes. 90 things bad that I don't like, only 10 things that I like. Okay, those 10 things that you like, just go and appreciate them. Not even 10, only 1 out of 100. Okay, that 1 out of 100 that you like, don't say 100 I don't like. No, then you are not a truthful person. It is not possible. There should be something good in somebody who you don't like or who you have any conflict with. One thing, that one thing that you like, appreciate it. Things that you don't like. And sayya, again, is not, I'm not talking about dhanb and dhulm. Those things are up, but it starts with sayya, mistakes. Ignore a mistake and then see the results. You will be happy. So this is why we see in hadith, it says that forgive people, not for them, for yourself. You will be happy if you forgive. Right? You will get the benefit of forgiving more than the person who you are forgiving. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and ability to follow the instructions of Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, to follow the seerat of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, and especially to make our akhlaq the way Imam is teaching us in dua makarim akhlaq inshallah. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله. I advise myself and all the mu'minin and mu'minat to follow the path of taqwa, path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, and ask Allah to keep us among the muttaqeen and the followers of Imam al-Muttaqeen inshallah.